He's good. He's gonna be all right.
You think he's gonna play on Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you decided anybody Cleveland, I guess, will run down the hill, and then we mentioned.
Yeah, Cleveland. We've kind of had him as a senior all year.
Right.
He's graduating in December, so for us, it's you got to be at least a fourth-year guy, or you're graduating in December if you're a 3-year guy, like Deshaun when he was a senior.
Garrett.
So Garrett's already graduated, but he's a fourth-year guy. But yeah, the only guys that actually still have eligibility left are Garrett, Austin Spence, Kyle Cody, and it's family night here at Clemson, if you can't tell, and Ty Thomason. I think they're the only guys that have eligibility left that are seniors in the classroom. And Austin's not sure, and Garrett's not sure. So we're just going to go ahead and honor those guys, and if they decide to come back, great, because we certainly want them back, but we'll see.
Just how much of a blessing is it to have this indoor facility on a week like this? A lot of schools don't have that. I think Georgia just built one a year or two ago.
That's the question of the night. I literally was just talking about that today. I was talking to a couple of different guys walking out to practice. Like I was reminiscing of when we didn't have it and how chaotic that was, and how. It's just such a blessing. That's all I can say. We moved in it, I guess, December of 12, right before we played LSU. Literally, right before we played LSU, and. But we were just so inefficient. We couldn't practice. There's nowhere to go. You'd have to. All you could do was walk through. You couldn't do anything full speed. There was nowhere to do anything full speed. And we'd go into the indoor track and they'd roll out a piece of carpet, but you couldn't do anything on it other than, like I said, walk through, and you couldn't get the team in there. It was what it was. You didn't know anything. We made it work, but it was a constant juggling of the schedule. And whereas now we don't even think about it. It's just there's no ulterior planning. It's just like. Oh, it's bad weather? Well, no problem. And it's the same thing. But I remember one year it rained. I can't remember. It rained, and it's like we hardly ever practiced, like legit practice, and it takes a toll. It really does. And then it's the summer too. These guys have skills and drills and things like that, and all of a sudden they get washed out, and they just missed a day. So that indoor facility is one of the best things that has happened around here for us, as far as just being able to develop our team and to have consistency in our preparation and so forth. So in season and off season.
BT's kickoffs last week, was that cold?
It wasn't ideal weather. So one way was better than the other from a wind standpoint, but definitely cold. Just like playing golf, you get out there on a cold day, that golf ball don't want to go quite as far either. But he had some good ones. He had a couple that weren't quite as good, but he'll be all right.
Well, how many times have you had to kick the ball off? Is there any fatigue?
Probably. He's a true freshman, and I think that's probably fair. And that some of these guys that I was talking to Xavier Thomas yesterday, and I was just asking him how he was holding up. He's never played more than 10 games in his life. And it's not only played 10 games, but we've been going since August 1. It's for some of these new guys. Of course, BT's played, I think, 15 every year of his life, coming from South Point. So it don't really hold up for him, does it?
He should be used to kicking off.
Yeah, no doubt. But just I think the totality of the season and all that goes into it, at this level, I think it's a grind for some of these young guys and an adjustment.
I know the other day you talked about the call that happened last week at the BC game, the interference call that England called on the punt return. Did you take that into the ACC and tell them your concerns about in the future?
Yep.
What response did you get then? Share that
I'm not going. I can't. I'm not at liberty to share the response, but I will say this: that Mr. Hennigan has a high level of accountability, and he does a good job of trying to get better every week, just like we do. We make mistakes and we see them and we own them, and their guys make mistakes. And they want us to turn things in, but as far as our conversation back and forth, I keep that private.
Coach, I was actually going to ask you a follow-up on that. Would you like to see certain calls reviewable?
Yeah.
That are just cut and dry? Again, everybody that watched that replay thought there was interference.
That's exactly what I told the ref. I'm like, if that's not reviewable, then we can't miss that call. That's just like, that's a game-changing deal in front of everybody, and I would love for that to be a reviewable. Catch interference on a punt return like that. You're not talking about every pass I'm not talking about pass interference or anything like that. I'm talking about kick catch interference. That's a game-changing deal, and I would love for that to be reviewable, but I don't know how often it happens. It's probably one of those things that's pretty rare too. So I don't think you'd have a bunch of reviewable situations. But from time to time, you have something like the other night that would have really helped us. Plus, I could have kept my time out.
Do you also coach Amari on that because it looked like he turned to the official to complain and immediately?
Yeah, absolutely. He's lobbying for a call, and he needs to, he don't need to be lobbying for a call. He needs to just get on the ball, and we'll ask questions later. So yeah, absolutely, it's a good coaching opportunity for him. That hey, you can't worry about that. You just got to play your play, and because I think had he not been, like I said, lobbying, he probably could have gotten on the ball, but. It's a tough break. We were fortunate that it didn't cost us right there. The defense did a great job of getting it back.
I wanted to ask you about BC's punt return touchdown because your coverage unit has been pretty good all season. But what did you see on film there? Where was the breakdown?
HA went behind the guy. TJ, classic example. We executed exactly what we wanted. No return. Ball's on the ground. We've got two guys. We held the ball forever, and we got two guys right there. And TJ relaxed because it kind of hit TJ. He kind of relaxed because they didn't think the guy's going to return it because it's on the ground. And AJ goes behind him like it's like he's on the goal line or something. And just poor job of us coaching and making sure he understand. I mean, we never do that. I mean, he just kind of had a brain fart right there. That's all I can say. We got to stay in front of the returner. That's football 101. You stay in front of it. And so the returner was just, I don't think he was going to return it, but all of a sudden, he was able to just catch it quick and go, and it caught TJ off guard because TJ relaxed. So you can't relax, and I think everybody on the punt team had relaxed because it just looked like it was not going to be a returnable ball, and he caught him off guard.
I think these numbers are close, if not correct, but since the Syracuse game, your defense, 91 drives and 84 have ended without points. Have you ever seen a dominant stretch like that in your career?
I don't know. I'd have to get somebody to do some research for me on that. I know they've done a really good job of keeping them out of the end zone, and we put them in some tough situations too. That one touchdown in the second half of the Syracuse game, they got the ball on the 10-yard line or whatever it was, 15, something like that. But they've done a great job. Unfortunate we didn't get the shutout for them the other night, but. They're playing well, and this will be an interesting challenge this week. Last week was a huge challenge from a style of physicality. They're going to run to set the pass up. This team is kind of the opposite in that they got a first-round draft pick quarterback back there that can sling it all over the place, and they're going to pass the football empty and try to set the run up through that. And so it's a different approach. So I'm really anxious to see our guys and how they respond, to a totally different type of challenge against a really, really good offense.
They have also, I think, held opponents without a first half touchdown in 12 of the last 15 games. How much freedom does that give you in your play calling offensively, especially when things aren't really clicking like they were the other night in the first half?
Well, it all works together. I think to be a good team, you got. There's times when the defense will go out there and give up a touchdown, and the offense has got to kind of get the points back. And but when you have a defense that can be so consistent, and it allows you to manage the game, maybe a little differently as opposed to some of these teams out there that you see that you got to outscore everybody. So at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do is win. And so it can change some of your decisions based on how they're playing. I think it's silly to not think that way. You got to pay attention to what's happening in the game. And but our mindset offensively is to play fast and to attack, and that's what we do. And if the game dictates differently, then we respond. But it certainly helps to know that we don't have to score on offense every time we get the ball. We we usually have time to settle in and create some field position and wear them down a little bit.
You don't necessarily like sitting around a hotel all day. Why do you like night games? Why are night games good for this program?
Well, I mean, I think it's obviously our fans love the night games here, and so I think it's great. Even the noon games from a TV standpoint, we get a national audience, but it's a special time in the Valley when under the lights, especially this time of year, November. It's not September. At 7 o'clock, it's going to be dark out there, and what time is it? Yeah, it's only 6:30. It's dark, so it'll be an awesome environment, and I think our guys love it. Playing under the lights, and especially senior night, and having a chance to really savor the day and give them a full day to really kind of, I think, soak in senior day, and for our fans to really have a lot of time to tailgate and appreciate military appreciation and all that. It'll be awesome atmosphere. So it'll be a lot of fun. I'm glad that we're going to be able to finish with back-to-back night games here.
What's the Rump kid look like on the field?
He's a good player. Yeah, he's a good player. He's that little sucker. We're going to try to get a picture. I've got a picture, Cass sent me the other day of when they were all in camp, and it was little Chris, JD and Judah, Will, Drew, Tanner Pearman, and Nolan Turner. And they were all probably like, I don't know, 9, something like that. And it's the cutest picture, so we're going to try to recreate that picture. Ben Batson was in that picture as well. But he's a good player. He's still developing physically, but I think he leads them in sacks and tackles for loss. I mean, he's an active guy. They've used him a lot in their rush package, but he's a physical kid. He's probably looks like he's about 225-ish or so, but he's going to be a good player. He'll be a good player for him. He's got the mindset that you need, and he's athletic.
I know it's still early, but you have guys that are junior, that are draft eligible. Mullen, Lamar, Tim's. Have any of those made decisions, or
no,
so far away?
Yeah, ain't nobody's even worried about that stuff right now. We're just trying to finish strong.